Oh. Yes. Oh. Finally happened. No, everybody's has done it. His is the only one that's left.
Well, I'm not a brute.
Jesus, come on, man.
Right, we're recording, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to episode 6 of the LLC podcast for the lifted, the lowered, and the confused. I'm your host, Three Wheel Willie, here with helper extraordinaire Trent, master fabricator Dean, our special guest Jason, and our executive producer over there, Justin, who likes the turtles.
Oh.
So today we're going to talk about preferences of makes and models, right? Everybody sways one way toward what they like the most, whether it be Chevys or Buicks or Lincolns or Fords.
Right.
Me personally, I think I have an overall favorite brand, but I think by decade it kind of changes a little bit.
This is an easy question for you. How many Lincolns have you owned in your lifetime?
A lot. And Lincoln is probably my overall go-to.
Owned or wrecked?
Yes.
Listen, I didn't wreck them. I did not wreck them.
To be fair, you're right.
I was
That's
ran
true.
into twice. But what, Trent? What's your go-to, buddy?
I always been Chevy, big Chevy guy. Getting on this podcast and kind of reflecting, turns out I'm more of a Buick guy in the 60s because I've owned about 5 or 6 of them bastards. So I'm just going to go with GM in general, the General Motors. So anything in that aspect of it. They just seem to be further ahead of the game. Damn, man.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get a little of that.
It's not like we're recording or anything. Shit.
Yeah, man. Be
okay.
prepared for
I am prepared. I didn't expect that to happen.
big dummy.
Shut up.
You know, getting back into it, the Buicks just seem to be technologically, from the 60s anyway, further ahead than the rest of the game. Like,
Right.
I got the all-seeing eye on the Buick. I know Brian's got it on his. It's an automatic dimmer, 1964. You got your high beams on. There's a car coming at you. This little eye registers it and automatically dims your headlights. There's cars nowadays that don't even have that shit. So
I know it. Fancy. All them power options, too, on the Buicks.
yeah, power. Everything still works too. It was quality made. Power windows, power seats. Everything's still functional in every Buick that I've ever had. So,
What about you, Dean? What's your go-to?
I'll be honest with you. I don't really have a go-to as far as preference. I've always just loved vehicles. If they're old and they're beautiful and they're like numbers matching and they're not too deteriorated from time, I love to keep them completely stock. If they're kind of on their way out or they're tired, I like to make them into whatever my vision is, whether it be a hot rod or a low rider. But ultimately, I love the love the car. But I mean, I guess
You've
if
had a lot of Fords.
And honestly, it's not that I had been looking specifically for that. I've just, from the F-150 to, I kind of fell into the Ranger twice.
Rangers, yeah.
I've had 2 of them now. But, as of recent.
Cadillac is your first GM, right?
Yeah, Cadillac is the first anything outside of that
and
because
how comfy is that motherfucker?
it is a couch. It's a 93 Fleetwood. Yeah. It is 2 couches. It's front to back, 6-seater, comfortably my size.
You got the old Merc, too.
I have a Mercury, which is
FOMOCO, baby.
Yep. Again, and it was just a beautiful car. I was not specifically looking for
And the T-Bucket, the FOMOCO.
23 Model T that I'm building.
So you're a Ford guy.
Yeah, I guess if it boils down to it, I'm not like I've just kind of they've all kind of fallen in the right place.
Lincoln's part of the FOMOCO family.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I think it's just the chips fell, in the right spot every time, and it turns into Mercury, Model T. Or Ford, trucks and stuff like that. But that's why when I say it kind of fell into the it just kind of fell that way. I had no issues with looking at the Cadillac when you guys had found a good listing, and I was looking outside of the Ranger to get something more family friendly.
Right.
You even asked what are you looking for? I'm like, I have no idea. 4 doors.
We got you.
I'm looking for 4 doors, something good for the family, and boom, you guys started sending me Lincolns, Cadillacs, Caprices, the whole nine.
Yeah. What about you, Jason? What's your go-to car, man?
As long as it's not a Ford.
Got to get in the mic on that.
No Fords for you?
No Fords for me, none.
I'm the same way.
You're a Mopar guy, aren't you?
Now, yeah.
You are now?
Yeah. More modern, yes. Old stuff, garbage. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, no school pick. What is it going to be?
Old school, it's definitely going to be a Chevy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Jason's a mini truck guy, right? He's not You know, and it's funny because I'm a lowrider guy. Trent's kind of more of an old school, sled type guy. Dean's kind of a hot rod guy. You're a mini truck guy. I think Justin's more of a mini truck guy as well over there.
I agree with that.
So
I like to think that my old sleds are based in the mini truck, the build category. So
Yeah.
a mini trucker my whole life. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it started. It started for me like car shows, my old man and everything like that.
Yeah.
It was 50s music, 50s, 60s music, and hot rods.
Yeah.
And as I grew up, I developed this passion for hot rods and then lowriders.
Yeah.
So it just one thing led to another, and then I got into from that. What was most affordable at the time was, and readily available was a mini truck. And that's what my first custom was a mini.
My first custom was a mini too, just out
That's
of
right.
convenience. It was a lowrider inspired mini.
Yes. Oh, is that? you see what
Wasn't
he
a
did there?
lowrider.
See what he did there?
He's got a new category.
A
Gets-
lowrider
Yes.
inspired mini. Get it out. Put it on the list.
That's true. That's true. What about you, Justin? What's your go-to? Ford.
Well, if money wasn't an object, it'd be a Lincoln,
There you go.
like a 40s Zephyr.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely money not an option.
Yeah.
40s Zephyr.
Yeah.
My word.
It's one of the like I said in the beginning, it varies for me by decade, right? So if I'm gonna go 50s, I'm gonna go Buick. If I'm gonna go 60s, I'm probably gonna go Chevy. If I'm gonna go 70s, I'm probably gonna go Chevy again.
like a glass house, maybe.
Yes. Once you go 80s,
Weird.
once you go 80s, then I'm back to Lincoln, and 90s I'm back to Lincoln.
I got nothing for the 80s. Nothing for the 80s.
I'll say I love a Mark 6.
50s, I'm down with Buicks. Buicks were gorgeous
I'm
in the
telling you.
50s.
Give me that 59 LeSabre, buddy. My pants are tight.
50s would be Buick first and probably Chevy second. I got nothing for Fords, bro.
Are
Nothing
we
for
just
Fords.
going off lowrider? Because I can't. I have issues deciding and stuff
No.
like that. Because I'm thinking 40s and 50s. I'm
just a
thinking
lowrider guy, so
Yeah.
that's where I lean, right? But
right.
What's your hot rod of choice?
I mean, you're late 20s. You're talking Chevy or Ford.
One much
Mo-
options. There was only like 3 or 4 options back then. So.
About 2 options.
And
But
honestly, they look like they were
mo-
pressed in the same factories. so.
mostly, not too. They didn't stray too far from a very similar design. But Ford or Chevy, Model A's, hot rods right there. Traditional hot rods, even modern. It doesn't have to be a flathead. I'd modernize it so it'd be regular pump gas and everything. God, and then skip forward a little bit, 50s. Again, I have preferences for each make. There's some that I want to make a lowrider, and then there's some that I would love to, some makes I would do a hot rod, classic hot rod, true lead sleds.
What are you making a lowrider in the 50s?
Lowriders in the 50s, I wouldn't bat an eyelash really at anything if it came my way, but I would love to get my hands on a 59 Impala, or the more rare of the two is the 59 El Camino. That I know is not, that's kind of a rare thing for some people. You either like them or you don't.
Them fins.
I'm gonna pass on the Caminos.
Yeah,
I'll pass
50.
on the Caminos.
It's just they're beautiful, especially when you cut up that paint from the fins to the lower body. I love it.
appreciate an El Camino, but I wouldn't build
I know,
one.
yeah, you can appreciate and some people will appreciate it, but it's just, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's gorgeous in its own right.
And if I had to go all the way back to the 40s, I'd do like a fleet line, like a Chevy fleet line.
Yeah,
Fleet
and that's
Master.
Cadillacs, fleet lines for me.
With the
Yeah,
bomb
absolutely.
style,
In the 40s, oof, all
The
day.
Buicks are right there, though. Same thing.
Yeah.
And that's I
The
would
Buick Specials, gorgeous,
Super
man.
8, yeah,
Absolutely.
like 38 Super 8. If I was in the 30s, 40s, I do a Super 8, absolute bomb all day.
Yeah, and even modern cars, right? Like I like the Lincolns. I like the luxury. I had that Continental, that 17 Continental for a while. That was just a nice car.
It was. I mean, cruising, getting back rubs in that bitch.
Yeah,
it was
man,
nice.
It was nice.
Super nice.
Made you feel some kind of way.
Oh yeah, 60s I'd probably do if I just right off the top, not thinking too much into it. Probably a 62 Impala.
That's me. 62
I like a
Impala's
62,
right
and I'm
there.
good with. And some
In the
people are very
60s.
preference, oriented on vert or hardtop. I don't care either way. I'll take a hardtop 2-door
I'm saying,
or a drop.
I'd rather have a drop, but a
You wouldn't stray
rag
away
is
from
ideal,
yeah.
but trust me, of course not. I'm building hardtops.
Yeah.
You know?
They're a lot
70s,
cheaper.
I don't really have anything. 80s, I'd go again.
Oh, see,
we were
70s,
talking
70s, you got the glass houses, you got the T-birds.
pretty, very pretty.
They're
I'd probably hit
They're
a. I
nice.
love glass house. I would probably do a glass house in the 70s. I know somebody else.
I ain't even say nothing, bro. Why you gotta
But you
at me
look
like
at
that?
it and you laughing. You just poking the coals. 80s, I would probably do like a 4-door Caprice or two door
Aero coupe.
Aero coupe.
Yeah, those are
2-door
nice.
Aero
Those are nice.
coupe with that glass wrapping around the back.
Yeah.
Something about it.
I'm gonna jump right over the 80s. Good.
Oh, so
Hard pass.
That's it for me. I mean, I'm not
80s,
really.
I'm building a Mark 6 or I'm building another one of those square body town cars like I had. Those are, oh man, I like those. I like those.
80s for me is like a connecting flight. It's just really not much there.
man.
There's like one vehicle, maybe two.
I'm good
And
on
then,
the 80s.
Grand National.
Grand Nationals, yeah.
Grand National.
Yeah, definitely.
There you
Grand
go.
National.
You want to go fast, yeah. What about you, Justin? What's your 80s car of choice?
I'd probably have to go with like a F100.
Lightning.
Bagged one,
Yeah.
big wheels.
Big wheels.
Justin's a big Ford guy.
He's a
I
big
mean,
he's a folk guy, FOMOCO.
so
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
But
wrong
he's
with
all on
that.
them Buicks now too, right?
I'm trying to bring
Or
him
are
to
you
the
just
dark
trying
side.
to persuade him
Trying to
on
bring him to
the
the dark
To the
side.
dark side, yeah.
Keep sending him kick-ass deals on some slabs. So
They are
Not
nice.
for nothing.
They are nice.
Well, you find one in Florida and we'll talk.
Yo, why the
Tennessee's
hell
not
does it
that
need to be in
far,
Florida?
man. Tennessee, North Carolina. That's a
3
day
days.
trip. It's a day up. It's a day back.
I'm
That's true.
pretty
Well, that
sure
trailer's on deck, son.
you go ahead and just keep working. Hand him the coin. He'll take the time off and go up and get the damn thing.
That's true. We'll get it.
You figure there's 3 of us. We drive in rotations. We're up and back in 24, 48 hours. Easy money.
Without
It's true.
without even batting an eyelash.
Make it to
In and
Tennessee
out.
back
We
like
got
that.
two trucks and 2 trailers ready to go.
Boom, smash and grab.
say
Well,
which
for
one?
one in case on the way. You
Which
find
one-
something
which
on the
one
way.
wants to go? We'll
Man.
make it happen.
Buy a pair.
Yeah, why not? Get the $1,000 one and the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we
Hey,
did we cover 90s?
What do we say? $1,000? It's what you don't even count if it's $1,000, right? It doesn't
right,
even-
yeah.
doesn't even
count.
90s don't count.
Chump change.
90s don't count? Well, my Cadillac's
Oh,
93.
see, I
Now
think
hold up.
90s counts,
Hold
man.
up.
Hold
Wait
up,
a minute.
wait a
You're a
minute.
mini truck guy. How you gonna say the 90s don't count?
For real.
The Toyota Tacoma of the 90s is hands down
Look at him.
the sexiest fucking mini truck ever. That body style, the curves on it, gorgeous trucks, man.
That's true.
Gorgeous trucks.
I can't fit into one, so.
I can't either, but they got the extended cab. We all right, man.
You get the
we'll take the
extended
front
cab
seat out.
on
We'll
it?
drive from the back seat.
Bam. We'll make custom
See, I like-
racks.
I like the 90s.
You a tall fella. You
90s
got wide shoulders on you, man. So I understand because even Trent, when I was the couple times I worked on his Isuzu, I'm like, how in the hell do you fit
It's
this? I
snug.
had issues fitting.
The Isuzu is snug now. I ain't gonna lie. It's put on some weight.
That's why we need to put bomber seats in
It's
it because
snug.
I like the 90s. The 90s, you had the town cars, you had the Fleetwoods, you had the Roadmasters.
No.
You had
2 of those 3 are nice.
Yeah.
2 of the 3 are nice.
so far, like cherry pick so far. What you've said in the '90s for me is like what I own, and not just because I
Yeah,
own it. If I had to
yeah.
pick between them, it would
the top.
boom,
Well,
Cadillac.
the top 2 are what you own and what I own.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's we've had those lined up together, and that's like the quintessential like lowrider of the '90s right
Yeah.
there. Boom.
I like it, and that's just thinking lowrider style.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you went to
Got the bubble top Impalas and stuff back then.
yeah, just like the
So-
Caprice and everything. But even outside of the realm of all of us, when Peyton was here, he likes the little fast cars. The '90s produced a lot of those
Oh yeah,
little,
that was
Oh,
Fast and the
yeah.
Furious was in full
Oh,
swing then.
yeah.
you know, a lot of them
Hondas
kids
and all
love
that
them
good
things,
jazz.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
all. That's all the good stuff.
I don't see it, but there was some cool cars back then. The '90s Supra is the one everybody. creams
Not
their
even
pants over,
Supras,
right?
just cars we thought were shit boxes, and that were shit boxes back then. And now you get your hand on like a 2-door, like Acura or Civic,
Yeah,
like that's cream puff stuff. Like people
Yeah.
are fighting over that, and the prices though are
What year did Fast and the
wild.
Furious come out? The first one
That was early 2000s.
was it a 2000?
was it
Early
late '90s?
I thought that was like
2000s?
2000, 2001.
I don't know.
We're gonna put him on the case. He's gonna look it up.
Executive producer's gonna get us.
I'm gonna say
get
it's
us the info.
2000, 2001.
I'm thinking 98, 99.
No, that's
Say-
too
I'm
early.
gonna say 2000 even.
Or 99.
$1, Bob.
$1. Okay. I'm gonna say 01. 01. We'll get back to that. He's gonna do
Drum roll,
research.
please.
We got a Jeopardy.
We don't.
God,
We don't have Jeopardy.
You dropped
No?
the ball on that, sir.
No.
That's,
Who was
yeah.
that for?
I don't know. I thought it was the crickets. I'm still over the buttons.
Jesus.
You go ahead and hit that when he says 2001, like I said.
Definitely do the Jeopardy one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we got no signal in here.
No signal. All
Anyway.
right, we'll get it.
Anyway.
Out in Wrinklewood.
Oh, one.
01.
01. Kid. Why the hell?
That?
No. That's you. That's you. It's a 2000 guess.
Too many buttons.
hell-
We're just going to not touch the buttons anymore.
Where the hell's my applause?
I don't know.
The yellow one.
You mother. There it is. God damn.
Put some stickers on them.
I need to label them. I don't know what they are. I need to make them good is what I need to do. Anyway.
Unbelievable.
And then you got the 2000s. Did anything good come in the 2000s?
Oof, for what? I mean, just anything?
I don't know.
Anything?
I don't know.
I mean, I love my truck. It's an 01 F-150. I mean, I love that. That's the last year the body style is 03 for a Ford truck, is that rounded style. You've owned one.
Yeah.
That's it for me. After that, I don't really care for the direction that they went with the shape of everything. It was like, just looks like a box.
Yeah.
And just,
See
I got
what's
nothing
sitting behind
for
you,
it.
right?
Big old box.
A gorgeous thing from the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This
It's a
is
brick on top of a brick.
brick on a brick. 86 Suburban.
Big.
As long as it is tall. This is a big girl right here.
Now, 2000s and up, if it's not a full-size truck, I really got nothing for it.
Yeah.
Even motorcycles.
See, I
I
like
don't,
the big old luxury sedans is what I like.
Not a car guy.
like
bro.
what?
Not a car guy.
I'm a big sedan. Well, my Continental was real nice. And you know what's funny is I always said I'd never own a German car, but these new Mercedes, man, they're
Yeah,
nice.
but they come with a price tag on these
I
things.
know.
And then if something goes wrong,
Listen, they ain't one in my driveway, I know, but they nice. They are real nice.
so they say if you can afford the car, you can afford the gas. So
Yeah.
I get it. If you're buying into it, you got to understand what you're buying into.
Yeah, and what a lot of these companies now that the technology has come so far that it's more affordable. You got a lot of nicer, quote unquote, luxury cars that are.
You can pick up
less
Mercedes for
expensive
in the 30 grand range, which isn't.
Oh, the
Fucking
luxury
terrible.
cars have the worst depreciation
Yeah.
out of any segment.
Really?
in cars. Oh yeah.
What about you, Jay?
For 2000s,
And I mean, yeah, 2000s, current or more current.
I would have to say I still love my Magnum.
What year is that?
Magnum's nice.
05.
05?
Yeah.
That's a pretty girl, man. That's when.
Yeah.
When did they first come out?
05.
Was it 05?
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember they first came out, and they were. I mean, I thought they were dope.
We had
And
a
of
lot-
course, everybody had them, and then but that now it's like you got to find the people who are doing them up right, and yours is right. It looks mean.
We had a lot of them.
I
They
think
were
the worst
sorry.
thing I did was paint it first. Well, not
Okay.
first, but I still should have played around with it, but I sent it to...
We don't say names.
I take it that end as well.
No.
Ah.
No, a lot of problems with that paint. But
Painters in general are genuinely hard to find. Honestly, good painters and reliable too. Even just showing up for work,
yeah,
and I've experienced that being in the car world so much. But just even finding somebody who's really worth their salt, who knows how to really spray down, good prep work. Something in 5 years, it's not you don't have stuff bubbling at the surface and stuff. See that a lot with classic cars that come into the speed shop that I work at. Even here, at my shop. You see, it was painted 2-3 years ago or 5 years ago. And then there's some rare ones, like perfect example, Trent, his your 64 Buick. Now, we don't know who painted that, but that's the second paint job on that
It was
car.
25 years old.
25-year-old paint job, and it's a champagne color, and it is just, to this day, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And you haven't even maintenance. You've washed it.
Yep.
You ain't even waxed it. You've washed it.
Have you had any issues with your motor or transmission, Jay, on the
I did
Magnum?
for a little bit, but after doing a complete service on it and changing everything and upgrading and programming, it runs like a dime.
We had a couple of those at work back in the day, and they couldn't keep oil in them. Like they literally had to carry cases of oil in the back of the car, and they'd have to stop mid shift and
Magnum?
yeah,
Really?
yep. We had 3 or 4 of them.
You got leaks?
Not a one.
Ours,
Okay,
those,
well, I
well,
expect yours to be tight,
we
right?
we drive ours a little harder than the common folk, so
Yeah.
and they would get issued a case of oil every month, and mid shift they'd have to jump out and dump half a quart in the oil in because it was just burning through it so quick. It was ridiculous. Like they were the worst. Like if you ended up in one of those cars, you hated life.
And this is what, a squad car?
Yeah. Yep. And they were maintained, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
just those were they couldn't wait to. We had 4
Did
or
they
5.
smoke or they just habitually
ate it up.
burned oil?
Just ate it up. And we had a
Okay.
couple Chargers too, and they couldn't get rid of those cars fast enough, man.
I mean, that's expected in some. And correct me if I'm wrong. Even most cars. I mean, there's a point. There is an amount of oil that does get chewed up.
Yeah,
But that sounds like
not like this.
more. Yeah, that
this-
sounds a little bit more excess.
They had
than anything.
issues with them starting. They had.
Really?
I mean, we do a lot of wiring and shit to them. Like
Well, those were 6s, right?
probably.
Yeah.
You got the V8 in yours, son?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hemi, baby.
The Hemis make a huge difference when it comes to Dodges. Like if you don't get the V8,
Magnum's got a Hemi?
don't get it.
No shit. Okay, so it's fast and it looks good.
And it lays out.
That thing lays hard. We'll put a picture up
Yeah.
of his. He got you got some real nice pictures
Yeah,
of his.
I
I've
do.
seen him actually.
People don't like that one.
And Justin, you guys just you guys jumped into the Maverick,
Right.
the Ford Maverick thing. Not a fan, man. No, not.
No, I
Why?
don't mind it, man. It's growing on me a little bit.
Looks
It's
like
still
a
gonna
Honda,
have
the Honda
restricted,
truck.
It's not that boxy.
No,
It's
the
it's
Ridgeline.
the
Ridgeline?
no where the bed meets
Looks like a
the
Honda truck.
Yeah, the Honda Ridgeline.
yeah,
No,
the
no.
where it meets up right there. It's got that. Just not a fan, man.
I don't think so.
Like a mini truck to me is a '90s style mini truck.
The Maverick's growing on me a little bit. I wish it was body on frame, rear wheel drive.
You mean like a truck should be?
Is that unibody?
As should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
No kidding. I'm not saying it'd be my first choice. I don't hate it, but it's not my first choice.
Maverick or Ranger, Dean? The new Maverick or the new Ranger?
Oh, the new Rangers.
Oh
are
no, they're
hideous.
good. Maverick. Throw me in the Maverick. That's not a damn Ranger. That's not a Ranger. Just like the what was it the
Colorado.
the Blazer or the Bronco they did. Oh God, that was horrid.
Yeah.
But
How's the aftermarket parts on the Maverick? Are they starting to pop up?
I think
People
there's
making
3
some
different
stuff?
companies making springs.
how old is yours? What year is it?
22.
That's 22. Damn. Okay. So
You lowered it already, right?
Yeah.
How'd you lower it?
iBox springs. I think there's 2 coilover companies. I've heard some bad things about those. They're using too heavy of a spring, so they ride really stiff.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of touch and go with all custom parts, like any other vehicle.
Well,
when they start coming out.
iBox been in the game for a long time with sports cars and for any static drops and stuff. They've been around a while. They're
Quite a few of them
Pretty good
bagged
stuff.
already, too.
I think I'd really, you see, I was going to say I'd really dig yours if it was, you could really tub out, put a nice size wheel in that, and just frame it.
it's got the deuces.
Put it almost
on.
on. Yeah, but I'm talking laid on pinch.
Oh yeah.
That's.
I agree.
I think that would, I'd be even more attracted
There
to
was
that.
4 of them at SEMA that were bagged.
See that, and it's already. It's like as soon as something new comes out, boom. What year was
That's
Mikey's?
Everybody wants to be the first.
Yeah, Mikey's Chevy, his truck. That thing had 27 miles on it. I remember he had 27 miles on it,
Chopped it up.
and had a buddy of ours cut it up and lay frame. 27 miles that thing, and I'm just like, there goes all the warranties. He goes, yep. He didn't care. Tubbed it and laid it out on 2s.
You got any plans for the Maverick? You bagging it or anything? Or
Well, I asked her, I'm like, are we going to lower it or bag it? She's like, oh, it's a daily. We'll lower it first. So give it-
First,
give it
see,
a-
notice
give
what
it a
she
year.
said.
Give it
We'll
time.
lower
Give
it
it time.
first.
Give it a year.
Yeah,
We'll get in her ear.
yeah.
We're gonna have her bagging a Maverick and Justin buying a Buick here before long.
Oh yeah.
She can have the Buick and I'll drive the Maverick.
There you go.
so you're just diehard Ford boy.
Well, if it's a big body 60s car, it's got to be a Lincoln.
What?
Continental.
What's your? What's
a sexy car.
is sexy?
So you wouldn't do a Buick like some of the ones we were sending you today?
I would help her do it.
Okay.
But if it was for me, it's got to be a 4-door hardtop Continental.
So what puts the Lincoln over the top for you?
Everybody's got their
I
thing.
just-
Reference everything else.
I don't know. Since I was little, I've always liked the lines of the Continental, suicide doors.
They're
hardtop.
gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Like you can't go wrong with that build
Listen,
at all.
it's a close. A lot. They're not a good lowrider car because they're unibody,
Right.
but it's a close second for me on like a '62 Impala. And the
Lincolns
only
are pretty,
reason-
man.
And honestly, I like the look of it better. But the only reason I sway toward a '62 Impala is because I'm a lowrider guy, and it's a nicer lowrider in my opinion.
See,
But a '60s Continental, throw some deuces on it and lay it out.
Oof.
Oh,
And it's
I
just
will
so
say this-
straight.
Yeah.
It's laid out the whole
man.
way.
I will say
the good
this
thing
though, they
with
have
Buicks and Lincolns, man, there's so many aftermarket, like Devious. You got Devious for the Lincolns, Hubbard. Like there's so many Impala places. With the Buicks, the hard thing on the Buicks is finding parts, man. They don't have
Yeah.
the same like accessibility to parts and all that other shit. So it's
I'm experiencing a lot of that with the Fleetwood. It's hard, and it's a lot of. It's rare to find new NOS. A lot of it's new used or in great condition kind of stuff. Another thing too with the Lincolns, that's real common is it's so I want to say convoluted, the hydraulic system. I forgot there was a count how many hydraulics and like pinion points and everything for the drop tops on those. They actually have people. There's people around the U.S. that are specialized in that, and I mean only that. They literally, some of them are like grounded, some of them will travel, and that's all they do is Lincoln drops. Yeah. And they have all the tools and all the knowledge for every part that is a functioning, moving part, the hydraulics, the lines. It's extremely, I mean, it's ahead of its time. But I've been fortunate enough to be up close to a few of them in the process of building some of them or building around them, and it's very it's wild to see how many components go into a drop for a Lincoln. I can see why it's a specialized field.
Yeah,
and that's
hard top.
So rags, and that's the reason rags scare me a little bit, is because there's a lot of moving parts. Because like even the newer cars, right? I don't know if you guys remember the Chevy SSR, right? That truck that they made.
Oh, yeah, fast, but
it was hideous.
Fast, but hideous.
But it had a convertible heart. It was not fast. It was not
the
fast.
SS?
SSR,
The
the little
SSR.
truck,
SSR?
little
That
truck
wasn't-
hot rod wannabe thing. No.
That wasn't fast?
It was like their version of like the Prowler when the Prowler
Didn't it
came
have
out
like a
and all that
Viper
stuff.
motor?
Yeah, no, it just had a normal
It's a Dodge,
5.3
homie.
in. Yeah, this was a Chevy. It had a normal 5.3 in it, but it was a 4-speed transmission, sloppy shifts. It wasn't fast, but they had.
I thought that was their whole claim to fame is how fast those things were.
No. They were like a retro look.
And the Prowler was
That
a
was
6-cylinder,
claim
by
to
the way.
fame. But they had a hardtop convertible, and they're notorious for breaking, and there's no parts available.
Really?
GM has not even released the trademarks on the parts.
Wow.
So you can't even get aftermarket parts. If one
Do
of
they
your-
just want
if your
that whole
top
like
stops-
era to die?
If
That's
your
it?
top stops working, you have a paperweight. And those things still bring ridiculous money.
Do they
I don't know
really?
why.
Man.
Well, it's like the '93 Viper has no windows and no top.
Yeah.
Really?
So, I mean,
Yeah.
what do? You just sit in the garage until
You don't drive it in the summer in Florida.
Good luck.
Yeah, that was the RT10 or something.
Yeah,
That sounds like a fair weather car.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
God damn.
So, but there's been a lot of.
I'm going to
every
say this, but I'm going to
manufacturer,
say
I think,
this loosely because I kind of bought into this too. I would be doing research on a vehicle of that nature to find out how like accessible and available parts are and stuff like that. Now saying that, I jumped right into the Cadillac ass over tea kettle because of you guys, and then found out just how difficult.
We stole that Cadillac though.
You did, and it's beautiful, and it's even more beautiful now that we've done the touch-ups on it. But I mean, finding parts for it and everything. I mean, just the impact strip, piece of plastic that's embedded in the rear bumper, and of course, it's not sitting on the top of the bumper where it's it's just flat and you can take it off and just shine the chrome up. It's an indentation in the bumper, so you have to have the plastic impact strip to complete the vehicle. And just that I bought used, and that was $350. I found one in Texas, brand new, NOS at a dealership. They wanted $475, and this is, mind you, a piece of plastic that I did the research. It was $75 back in the 90s to replace. $75.
Yeah. The only car I've built that had somewhat tougher parts to find was my '89 town car.
Yeah.
They weren't as popular, but even still, they shared so many other parts with other cars that it, unless it was a body panel or a specific trim piece, it wasn't too terribly hard.
Right. Well, my stuff's hard enough to find, and it's I don't want to say hard enough to find, but it's people are charging, I guess, appropriately for them because they're harder to find for any type of bits and pieces, whether it be the stainless paneling or even the what is it? ENG, the ENG, not just the grills, the tops and everything like that.
Yeah.
People are selling selling tops shells for so you could do vinyl or canvas top.
Oh,
Those are
Go
sold.
canvas, buddy.
Just
When you do
and I
top,
am going to
go
probably do canvas, but just those shells alone, people are selling shells stripped. You pick up, and they're wanting still $2,000 for them for a shell.
If you're out there and you have a car with a synthetic top on it, and you choose vinyl over cloth, who hurt you?
Are you really a G? Listen, I was up in the air on it for a while, even before we got into the discussion, and then we got into the discussion, and then some people, I put a post up on a group that I follow from 93 to 96 Fleetwoods, and as soon as like two of them came up, it was like you said, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I saw my exact top same year and everything, with a black on black, and it was literally elegant. It looked more luxurious, more elegant, and I was sold right there. I was like, okay, well, I guess canvas it's going to be. I just got to figure out what color that's going to match up nice against the blue.
I would color match the car.
Just do a dark blue, probably right up against it.
It's gonna look good.
Gorgeous. And then like you were saying, the grills too. The grills for those, the front of those, because for the Cadillacs from the E&G, if there's one online, I still think it's going for $3,500.
Yeah, they're expensive
for a grill that was back in the day. What, a few $100?
Yeah.
Several $100, nothing crazy.
Yeah,
Find used ones, beat up ones with teeth missing. They want $900.
I remember when you first told me you wanted one, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah. And I was like,
"Let me look at this.
Look at this. Maybe I'll get it for Christmas."
Yeah.
And then I saw the price.
God, yeah. Seriously,
Yeah.
it's gold. If you find one of those, I can't. Yeah, serious. I'm over here about to fabricate my own damn one.
Yeah, you should. You could.
I could.
Why not?
But man. So
well, that's like the town cars. There's no grills for these things. Any town car you see with a nice grill, it's made.
But the parts are hard enough to find, and if not so much to find, but just to afford, that we came across recently a Cadillac in decent shape. Body solid.
Decent shape?
Decent. It's
the
decent.
one we picked up?
Yeah.
Decent?
Okay, well, let's listen.
How do you turn the headlights on?
I don't want to talk about that.
We gonna talk about
I need to know that.
How do we turn the headlights on that decent Cadillac of yours?
They got two wires poking out the dash to a switch. It's not even connected to the switch. You got to turn the switch on, then take this and hot wire the headlights, and goes. You see a little spark, and he goes, "Oh, you got lights."
It runs from the battery to the headlights, through the fender, through the door.
Oh, I like it.
It's not even like,
Bruh.
and then you gotta.
We were loading it on his trailer, and all of a sudden it got really loud, like a NASCAR. And the owner that I was buying it off went, "Oh shit, hold on, the exhaust fell off." And he went under there and he shoved it back on. He said, "All right, you're good," and handed me 2 bolts for the flange that he forgot to put back on.
Nice.
However,
But
I bought
it's
it.
decent.
It's decent because right now I can sell the frame alone. I can sell for $1,000. I bought it for $1,000.
I still think we need to pull the body off, wrap that frame, so you're not down while we wrap a frame for you.
Oh no, absolutely. When I do any modifications, I'm going to try to do my mainstay of fabrication is going to be to that car or parts off that car.
We're all waiting for your shop to be built so we can bring all of our shit to
All
your
of our
shop
shit
and
to
tear it
your
all
shop,
apart.
yeah.
I know. Hope
So your shop's gonna be full like
Yep.
the day the roof's bolted on.
Yeah.
Me and Dieter could be there like, hey, we got some.
It's a Cadillac, 18 foot, 9
Isuzu.
inches of fucking floor space.
Trust
All
me,
you.
I can't wait. It's one
But no,
hiccup after another.
We just gotta make sure we have enough room for a what's it called, like the glass house. We gotta have enough room for a glass house in there.
So it's okay. So the Cadillac's in rough shape, but ideally it's got a solid hood, solid deck lid, solid doors, some interior pieces towards the back of the car, like most 4-door cars, is really good. Frame is good, and some of the stainless paneling, which is expensive, is good. The motor's clapped, the front driver's seat and part of the dash clapped. I mean, but take the good with the bad. For what I spent for a G, I could throw the frame away and still have 50 other parts, and still, you know what I mean? So it's not even so much a money thing, but it's just for myself. When I need it, I just go to the pile now.
Yeah.
Unless you need a headlight switch. Then you're
There
on
ain't a headlight switch. I ain't getting it off that damn thing. God.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's those are our top picks as far as what we would drive and in what eras. Let us know in the comments what you would drive. We'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.